Guys, Big Weir. Emergency update. Emergency broadcast. Bitcoin Ben. I love Bitcoin Ben. He's the man. He's talking about the Fed announcement that it's called FedNow. Let me show you the announcement. FedNow is a way the Fed is trying to catch up to cryptos. Cryptos are instantaneous transaction, or soon will be. And the Fed cannot be left behind. Obviously, they would lose. So the Fed made an announcement on the 5th. Federal Reserve announces plan to develop a new round-the-clock real-time payment and settlement service to support faster payments. The rapid evolution of technology presents a pivotal opportunity for the Federal Reserve and the payment industry to modernize. A little late. A little frickin' late. But what Ben's talking about, basically they're saying they're going to have instantaneous payments come 2023 or 2024. Cryptos will so far surpass that. It's just ridiculous. But I get what they're saying. They can't be left behind completely. They have to line up with the crypto world and try to integrate the crypto world. That's what Ben was talking about on his emergency broadcast, is that it has to do with atomic swaps and all that. The Fed is integrating all this stuff. Probably. Does that solve the problem, Ben? No. Not even this close. Does not solve the derivative problem, does not solve the debt problem, does not solve the housing problem, does not solve the student debt problem, does not solve the bond problem, does not solve the oil problem, does not solve the market rigging problem. It solves no problems. What it might do, it might be a post-problem solving solution. And let me explain. Ben talks about, I agree with most of what he says, until he starts talking about derivatives. And this is the problem I have with all these crypto guys, even the guys planning this new system. The derivative bubble was set up to destroy the old system. No doubt about it. And they cannot get past that. They cannot explain to me how you solve the derivative problem. I'll play you what Ben said, and I hate doing this because he's not here to defend himself, but on August 17th, we can have this discussion live. But here's what Ben says about the derivatives.
What about PICs and the derivatives? They're going to revalue the derivatives.
Now, first of all, that is impossible. There's quadrillions in derivatives. Each one is an individual, not each one, but most of them are individual contracts with multiple players. They cannot revalue a derivative held by the same derivative contracts, all signed by JP Morgan, Citibank, on swaptions, on Taiwanese bonds linked to oil, backed by gold and silver in a swaption. You cannot revalue something like that. This is what these people don't understand. The crypto guys, I get where they're coming from. The problem is the system is so screwed up, it has to be destroyed. It cannot be revalued by the cryptos. And they are delusional to think that they are. That they can be. You cannot revalue, meaning getting everybody together, say, hey, this is your payout. We're going to change the value of that payout. Or we're going to get the IMF to guarantee everybody's derivatives, all the 50 quadrillion, however many there are. Nobody knows. It cannot happen. Anyway, but Ben explains it like it's some easy thing. Listen.
They're going to revalue the derivatives. And I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm not saying this is a good thing.
It's an impossible thing, Ben. All right, I'll keep going.
I'm saying this is what's coming.
And I agree. This is what they will try to do. But like I said, the derivatives were set up as the linchpin for destroying the entire system. That's why they spent all this time and effort in the late 90s to completely deregulate, keep regulation out of the derivative market so it would grow into the behemoth that it is, because they needed that thing to destroy the old system. They've been trying to destroy it since 1913. And the derivatives will do it. And there is no way to have a smooth landing via cryptos. You cannot revalue quadrillions in derivatives that are personal, signed, copied contracts between two banks that the world doesn't even know about. Off-exchange derivatives, OTC derivatives, quadrillions. You cannot revalue. Oh my God, these computer guys think they know what they're doing. They don't. Let the system fail, and then have the FedNow and have all the interoperability. But you got to clear out the past. Read Greenspan's book. It's called Creative Destruction Event. You have to destroy this false edifice that we've built our system on to move forward. Otherwise, we're screwed. And there is no otherwise, truthfully. There's no putting cryptocurrencies, revaluing the derivative market. It's a multi-quadrillion-dollar market. It blows away any market on planet Earth that has ever existed. And no, computer guys, you can't do it. It's impossible. Anyway.
They're going to revalue the derivatives into a new currencies, into other currencies. They're going to separate. Listen to me. A derivative is just a paper representation of an asset.
I would disagree with that. There's a zillion types of derivatives. Most of them are very complex, custom written for a certain situation, a certain market rigging situation. They can't do it. It can't be done, Ben.
They're going to tokenize the assets. They're going to separate the paper into token. They're going to get rid of the paper derivatives, and they're going to tokenize the asset inside the derivative.
It's not just an asset, though. Obviously, one guy's asset is another guy's liability. If you revalue it, you're increasing the value here or decreasing the value, whichever way you put it. It will change the books of every single bank or any human being dealing in the derivative market. It cannot be done. Ben, the only way to revalue it is to destroy the whole thing, allow the banks to fail, wipe out the debt, wipe out all those problems I listed, then move forward. That's all. That's all you got. Anything else is just kicking the can. The problems will grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger over time, and we will saddle our kids with this problem that is 1,000 times worse than it is today. That's what our grandparents did. This was not a mega problem when they found that gold in the Grand Canyon in the early 1900s. It became a problem when they didn't deal with it during their lifetimes. Now it's thousands of times bigger, and it'll be worse if it's allowed to be kicked down the road. So I disagree with Ben, and we're going to have a debate about this in St. Louis. That's coming up too. I had some guitar issues with my pickup, so I'm urgently I might just go get a new guitar. I haven't had a new guitar in a long time. Maybe I'll get a new guitar. Now that silver's on a run, maybe I'll go buy a new guitar with some silver. Dust off my silver and buy a guitar. Anyway, I love Bitcoin Ben, and we'll talk more about it. We'll probably get on the phone and talk about it but I agree with 90% of what he says, except when it comes to the derivative part, because that doesn't solve the problem. And he knows it. And I hope these computer guys don't think they can solve the derivative problem by turning it into a cryptocurrency. Because this is quadrillions in individually custom-made contracts. Yes, there's the ones that are traded on the exchanges, like the gold and silver derivatives. Do you really want to keep those? Derivatives are market rigging mechanisms. We don't want to keep them, so why would we move them into cryptos? That to me, that's just not a smart move. I don't think it can be done. So it doesn't really matter what we're talking about. It can't be done. The crypto guys think they're all-knowing, and we can save the system by turning all this structure that we had into a cryptocurrency structure. Cryptocurrency structure is going to be truth and honesty, and the old system isn't. So you can't move all the fraud, all the market rigging, all the bad stuff from the old system into the crypto world, because it would instantly be destroyed. instantly. You can't cheat and you can't lie on the blockchain. And derivatives are all about cheating and lying. They use the derivatives to control the facade of what the insane system that we currently have. I love you, Ben, but you're getting told false information by people who really don't understand how big the derivative problem is, in my opinion. This is Vic Weir, roaddoer.com. Talk to you later.